Welcome to the largest protein factory in the world, Myprotein. What makes whey protein so special? We know it's essential for building muscle, and we know it's so damn good at it, but how exactly is it made? I'm here in a factory that runs like clockwork, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, handling several hundred tons of whey protein, producing thousands of products. But how exactly is it put together? Welcome to In the Lab.
Before we get to the factory, we start with the best milk possible. Whey comes from the milk of a dairy cow. A process called pasteurization is needed to kill off any unwanted bacteria. The milk is boiled, then instantly cooled to around 4 degrees. The cooled milk is then transported to a cheese manufacturing plant. Whey, the good stuff we really want, as much as we love cheese, is the byproduct from the cheese-making process. After pasteurization, the milk is 20% whey and 80% casein. The milk is filled with naturally occurring enzymes to separate the whey from the casein. We end up with a liquid and a solid, something that looks a bit like cottage cheese. The liquid is then purified to remove fat, water and other unwanted minerals. What's left is then loaded into a large turbine, dried with hot and cold air to remove any water and separate any solids from the liquid. The resulting powder is 90% whey. That's a lot of protein and it's ready to come to us.
The journey of whey starts over there. This is the raw material warehouse.
Deliveries are brought into the raw warehouse around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This space holds hundreds of proteins and over 1,000 ingredients ready to make all of our products. Roughly 50 deliveries can come into this space every single day. A sample of each batch is taken to the raw material lab where everything is checked to make sure the high standards of quality are met and maintained.
We use the best quality whey without any filler ingredients. Our flavours are selected based on a range of factors. We analyse market trends like the spikes in popularity for pastel de natas or gin and tonic, for example. If we see chocolate flavours becoming popular, why not add a dark chocolate variant or even a white chocolate and raspberry? We get input from customers through email and social media all the time. We also consider gaps within the range. Maybe we don't have any nutty flavours, so we would consider adding peanut butter. Then the difficult part comes in. Will the flavours actually work? We need flavours to work as a powder in our products and must explore whether it will complement or clash the bitter notes of unflavoured whey. To do this, we run taste panels with a number of volunteers, scoring opinions on aspects such as flavour, bitterness, sweetness, texture, aroma and appearance. Based on the results, we then tweak different elements to make the perfect final formula. Once the ingredients have been checked in the lab, a picker will come along, pick up the works order and scan the batch code so they know what they're working on that day. The raw materials will then be taken from here into the weigh room where all the raw materials will be weighed out ready for blending.
In each weigh room, the job is checked for allergens. Each pallet of product is checked by the controller to make sure that any allergens are split up and taken into different rooms to avoid cross-contamination. Each ingredient is then weighed out in huge quantities or small quantities depending on the inclusion type. Today it's going to be enough to produce over 10,000 bags of protein.
And up here is what we call the rip and tip. Before being added to the IBC, all of the raw materials pass through a fine sieve, which is typically 2 millimeters in aperture. This ensures that all the ingredients are carefully broken down and easy to blend. This has the added benefit of ensuring all of our shakes are smooth and easy to drink.
The BFM, this plastic tube, is attached to the bottom of the hopper and dropped through the floor, and the tumbler connects it to the IBC where the blending happens. The operator combines all the raw ingredients in a particular order. This particular order is a closely guarded secret and it's what makes Myprotein so special. The operator then disconnects the BFM and checks the sieve for any foreign bodies. If any are found, then the team leader and QA are notified and the job is put on hold.
You may be wondering, what is an IBC? An IBC is an intermediary bulk container. Effectively, it's like a mixing vessel that you would find at home, only much, much larger. Those raw materials that are passed down from the rip and tip go directly into this IBC. The IBC is then rotated slowly and methodically to make sure all those raw materials are carefully blended and homogenized to make sure that the blend is nice and consistent. While that's mixing, let's find out how protein helps you.
So once you get your impact whey protein, tear off the top and dive in to find your scoop. Shaker at the ready, you might be wondering, what does this fine powder actually do and how does it help build muscle? So, your muscles, you've got over 600 of them. They make up 1/3 of your body weight. Along with connective tissue, they bind us all together, hold us upright, and help us move. Whether or not bodybuilding is your thing, your muscles need constant attention. How you treat them determines if they'll wither or grow nice and strong. To make them grow, you have to use them. When you try and lift something heavy, your brain sends a signal to your motor neurons. When the muscles receive this signal, they fire, causing them to contract and relax, which pull on the bone in your arm and generate movement. The heavier the weight, the greater the signal needed. Then, when facing a challenge, the muscle fibers undergo a cellular change. The more stress, the heavier the weight, they tear. It's only microscopic damage though, so don't worry. And this is where whey comes in. Milk is made of 2 types of protein: casein, which doesn't dissolve very well in water, and the stuff that's left over, whey proteins, which do dissolve in water very well. You know protein is essential for building muscle. The protein in our diet helps maintain what we've already got, and it's needed for MPS, muscle protein synthesis, so it's essential you consume enough of it. Protein is made up of amino acids. Of all of them, the amino acid leucine is most important to start sending signals to start the muscle building process. Those injured, teared cells, they release cytokines, which tell our immune system we need some help with repairing those tears. The greater the damage of the tissue, the more your body will repair and will need plenty of protein to do so efficiently. The process and place where your whey protein will have the biggest impact is when you sleep and recover. The body will respond to the demands you place on it. Tear the muscle fibers, eat enough protein, and rest. So there's more to it than a great tasting shake.
Back to the whey. Now that the IBCs have been completely mixed, roughly half an hour later, they're carried over here and stored ready for filling. It's at this point a computer signals to the packaging team to start to get the pouches ready, where they will both meet at the filling line for the jobs to be packed off and complete. So here we are in the labelling room, where hundreds of pouches are produced every single day. This machine is capable of printing the nutritional information on the back of pack and the product description on the front of pack at the same time. Once all the pouches are ready, they're then passed back to the filling station where they'll meet the IBC for the job to be complete.
The allergens in the whey are checked against the filling station and a deep clean takes place that removes any unwanted ingredients from the previous job. This is done every single time so that there's never any cross-contamination. Once the blend is above the filling station and the pouches are ready below, the large IBC is connected to the machine where the pouches are filled. A batch size will take about 20 to 30 minutes to fill, and we're always extra careful to ensure our scoops are placed on top of the product. The filled bags are then weighed to make sure it matches the stated weight. A half-empty bag of protein is no good to anyone. It's then heat sealed, securing the contents to make sure there's nothing but whey and a scoop inside. The bags are then x-rayed to make sure one last time before being stored into large totes ready for distribution. But before they jet off around the globe, every batch is tested to make sure that quality standards are met. They conduct the taste test, which is compared to a gold standard. This ensures that the taste and texture and consistency is correct. If not, the batch is put on hold and sent back to blending. Nothing will be wasted.
And here it is, job complete, ready to be taken to the warehouse ahead of shipping and delivery. From the point at which you press click online, it doesn't take us long to get it shipped out to you ahead of your next workout.